concept of immigration is a matter of international affair. It's something that cuts across the whole world. People all over the world have the right to move from place to place. This is why it's been unanimously agreed internationally that people can move from place to place. However, there are laws governing the movement of people. For example, people who are looking to settle down in another country, say from Nigeria to the US, is allowed, but there are criteria and there are rules, laws governing the process of movement from place to place. All right, like we said initially, there are laws governing the movement of people. Now, if you are considering not totally relocating to another country, but probably just to visit and see new places, see new faces and people, or do conduct legitimate businesses, there are still laws governing that process as well, which means you are required to obtain your visas to most of these countries, especially the ones that are not visa free to Nigeria. So of course you are required to present your visa as the entry point before you can leave the country. However, there are guidelines to all these things. What people need to consider before moving is what they really want to go and do in the country. If you're going for a business, then you should know that you have to get a business visa, which there are requirements under the business visa that must be provided to the consulate or the embassy, as the case may be, before visas can be issued. First of all, we need to understand the fact that president of a country has the right to, determine whatever goes on or how to control his borders. So we can't hold President Trump responsible for that or crucify him for such enactment. However, the fate of Nigerians already living in the country is nothing to worry about, because already they are deemed to be United States citizens. But then, for those who are looking to, migrate, thereby becoming legitimate citizens of the United States, they may want to reconsider that, because such avenues have been blocked. This is a subject matter that cannot be concluded on this occasion. It's a very broad subject matter. But of course, following your questions, the question you've asked rather, Nigerians or other nationals who are already citizens by birth or by one way or the other have made themselves citizens of the United States have nothing to worry about. It doesn't affect their status at all. Well, if you have experienced that in recent time, then you're not far from the truth. My own observation, personally as an immigration lawyer, proved to me that the high rate of refusals were much in the past years. But then, like I said earlier, it's nothing to, debate or kill anyone about or crucify anybody about. Every country has the right to control its border. So, but what seems to be our worry as citizens of this country is the fact that high rate of people are migrating or are applying for visas on daily basis, and huge amount of money are being paid for these processes. Yet, the highest rates are being refused. So my question has always been, if you call a particular fee or levy for a service visa fee, for example, it ought to be for issuance of the visa. There is no way you collect a visa fee, you call it in quote visa fees, and then visa is not issued. You would have named it service charge or probably something else, and not visa fees, because visa fees are expected to be paid in return for the visa. So if the visa is not being issued, what is the essence? These questions are mind-boggling. So basically, they have the right to control their borders, but of course, they should be able to control in such a way that people would not feel extorted at the end of the day. Okay, you might want to conduct an interview with these so-called celebrities, like you said, but then the law is not a respecter of anybody. The law itself is above everybody. So they also have the responsibility of obtaining their visas. It's not automatic before traveling to other countries. But of course, the category of their own visa may seem different. That's why it's always flexible for them, because of course the program they are going for is already legitimately organized, and preparations have been made. So they got a correspondence from the hosting country which guarantees their application, kind of, because of course what they want to go and do there is already scheduled and well organized. So hardly will such visas be refused, rather. So same thing with even the general public. The best thing is knowing the category of your visa. You're going as a visitor, you need to understand that you will be spending, trying to go and have a vacation in another country doesn't come cheap. So you need to have the understanding that there are so many criteria to fulfill. You want to go and do a business, of course you have to be invited for such businesses. Conference is the same thing. You have to register and be invited for such conference. Well, for Nigerians looking to travel outside this country, first you need to understand your reasons for traveling. Like I said earlier, you need to understand that you this is the reason why I want to travel. Is either you're trying to relocate to another country, or you just simply want to visit. And if these are your visions or missions, then you need to determine the best way to go about it. If you're trying to visit, you need to have funds. That is primarily important. You cannot be visiting another country like the United States and you don't have any fund in your account. So apparently you know that you need fund, sufficient fund that can carry you throughout the period you intend to stay in the other country. Another thing you need to understand is your economic circumstance in your own country. I mean, in Nigeria, for example, you work in a bank or you're an engineer, you have a private firm. Of course, your economic circumstances will be put into consideration, such that you will not become a liability when you get to the other country, such that you will not be applying for a visitor's visa and then you get to the other country and become an illegal entrant in the country. So these are why it is important for the border to be controlled, so that people will not just be issued visas and then at the end of the day they become liabilities to the other countries.